Hello and welcome there. I've got this giant burrito. I mean, it's not a burrito. It's a keyboard. Maybe it's a key burrito. Get it? No. Anyway, this is a new old stock Dell AT101W, and yeah, man, you can't say that this wasn't well packaged. Should be in good shape. So, new old stock. Let's get this thing open and see what it's like, because I've got a used version of this keyboard, but new old stock is always kind of special. I've got a used version of this keyboard, but and it has nice black Alps key switches. Oh yeah, it feels good. The problem with these switches is that they are kind of sensitive to dust, and they just kind of degrade over time, unlike the buckling springs on the IBM Model M and so forth. So it is kind of worth getting, I think, a new old stock version of these Alps keyboards if you can get one for relatively cheap. And I picked this one up for I think it was like $90, which I guess is a lot. You find these for like 50-60 bucks used on eBay, but again, it's kind of worth it to get a new old stock version of anything that has these Alps switches. Looks like we got some literature. Oh man, I haven't seen this in a while. So how to use Windows keys in Windows 95, 98. Yeah, I guess that's kind of that was a new thing back in the late 90s. No one knew how to use those new keys. Oh, we got here some technical documentation. Turn right side up. Yeah, so the pin readouts and so forth. Definitely don't find this anymore with your new USB keyboards. Alright, I've turned up the microphone a little bit here, so hopefully you can hear the clickiness. And again, not quite as good as, white Alps and blue Alps are my favorite, but black's pretty good. It still has a nice clicky tactile feel to it. And it feels nice and clean too, cleaner than my used keyboard. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and, because we can, go ahead and compare an old used AT101 and the one I have. Again, it's about, I'm not sure exactly how old it is. I think it's about 25 years old. It's not in terrible shape. It's actually in pretty good shape. But it has a bit of yellowing. And yeah, the keys on the older one definitely feel, a little stickier, not quite as smooth. And if you look at it, yeah, you can see the yellowing a little bit, maybe. But you can almost definitely see how shiny it is from all the wear and tear and just a couple plus decades of typing. Yeah, it's kind of shiny, but not in terrible shape. We compare it to the new one. This one looks great. Scroll lock, caps lock, cover here is a little shiny because it actually has the plastic coating on there. I don't know if the old one ever did, but it does anymore. And then the PS2 chords here. The newer one is colored, so at some point they decided to start coloring these. I don't know when that happened exactly. So how does the AT101 stack up against the venerable IBM Model M? Well, it's kind of in that size range, and it is a pretty solid keyboard. It isn't quite as heavy. It's not quite as wide. But it's pretty close. Thickness, the Model M's a bit thicker. But yeah, it has this nice curve to it. I like the curve, and I like the way it looks. I like the way the Model M looks too, but I think both keyboards have a nice classic appeal to them. Let's take off one of these keycaps here. Man, that's really on there. Probably never been taken off before, so it's going to require a little bit of force. Let's see here. There we go. Yeah, nice and clean. The black Alps key switch here doesn't quite produce the same satisfying thud that the blue or even white Alps switch does, but it still feels pretty good. It feels especially good that it hasn't been used. It's nice and clean, free of dust. I'll look at the back of the keyboard here. Pretty standard stuff, I guess. It does have some pretty satisfying feet. No rubber at the end. I kind of like it when there's a rubber covering, but has a nice, satisfying sound to it when it clicks in place. And it does have a channel here for the cable, which is always kind of nice to keep that organized, keep it out of the way. Alright guys, and I think that just about wraps this up, so thank you very much for watching. Hope you come back for the next video.